Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Monday, November 18th, 2024, and I'm going to take a look at a few things. Of course, I did the card readings, I shuffled the cards in my Dutch video, and I'm just going to do a recap of course, what the cards have pulled. And the first thing I wanted to take a look at, and I thought it was very interesting, is of course what Mr. T, all the people he's putting forth in certain positions. And especially with RFK Jr., I think it's very interesting. I'm very happy with that because he's very outspoken about all these things, about all these chemicals in food, and of course the pharmaceutical industry, and he really speaks out about that. We've got Elon and Vivek that are now leading the the Department of Government Efficiency. At least they're going to lead that. It's going to be very interesting. But there are other people that he's putting forward, or at least they're talking about this. I think Marco Rubio. And there are people like, why would he put him forward? It's interesting. And I also saw a message from Laura Aboli on a Telegram. And she was also talking about that and kind of my sentiment, although I'm quite sure. She wasn't sure, but I'm quite sure this is all part of a chess game. Just because Mr. T is now put forward doesn't mean everything is done now, that everything is cleared, all these energies and all these influences are gone. There are still people in certain positions, certain puppets that shouldn't be there in the Senate, in the House of Representatives in America and worldwide. Of course, here in the Netherlands we have influences still going on, in Belgium, Germany, just worldwide, the influence are still there. Those puppets are still there. And they will need to be removed somehow. And I think that's what's going on with Mr. T. And that certain people are being pushed forward to, I think, do a Scaramucci. I'm not sure if some people still remember Anthony Scaramucci. Strange man that was put forward by Mr. T. And 11 days later, he lost again. He lost his job because he apparently spoke out in an interview with the New York, I think. Let's see if I've got the correct. He was appointed White House Communication Director. Days into the job, Scaramucci provoked controversy after launching a strongly worded attack on members of the Mr. T administration in an interview with the New Yorker's Ryan Lissa that he believed was off the record. So he was removed. Well, it was 10 days, but ultimately, of course, it wasn't long. And that's the way they got rid of him as well. So it's very possible, especially with Marco Rubio, who is a senator. You don't get rid of senators very easily. And this was in the message from Laura Bowley. Let's see. She mentioned that, getting senators expelled is extremely difficult. Only 15 senators have been expelled in the nation's history, and the last one was in 1862. So you don't really get rid of them that easily. And this is a way of removing people in certain positions because they're placed in another position and they're not fulfilling what they're doing, or things can come out. Then, of course, the person will be removed. That's the way I see it as a chess game. The cards that I've got was the Judgment card. We've got the Empress card as the central card. We have the Page of Pentacles in the past. Underneath the Empress, we've got the Three of Swords. And we have the High Priest and the Eight of Wands. To me, this feels like all these dark energies are going to be exposed very soon, especially with this Judgment card. And we see, of course, the fast speed from the Eight of Wands. And that's what this is about. Just showing people so people can wake up to it and getting rid of them in a very easy, fast way. So don't get too confused or too stuck on the people that he might put in certain places. I believe he has a plan, and it all part of putting people in certain plans. And even with Matt Gaetz, he wants to most likely become Attorney General, but there are a lot of people in the Senate that are not very happy with that, and they will have to appoint him. And I saw already a message from the Department of Government Efficiency, so that's of course Vivek and Elon, mentioning that if the Senate is going to go against Matt Gaetz, that he's going to be part of their team and to look at FEC reports and audits, of course, for the senators that go against him. Yes, so there's already, even if they're not going to, if Matt Gaetz is not going to get on that position, he's going to look at certain people. So like I said, it's a chess game. People are put in certain places, and especially with the dark energies working against certain things, then they're going to get caught very fast and will be taken care of in a speedy manner. So the second thing I also wanted to look at, that also has to do with America, with Mr. B apparently now giving permission to the Ukraine to use certain missiles against Russia. And also that they're going to get as much money as possible before Mr. T will enter the White House. So there's a lot of things going on there. My feeling is that this has to do with putting things into place. And I do believe that especially in these next months, we probably going to there is going to be like this near-death situation created. I do believe it's still moving, maybe even smoother than we thought, but I do believe that it's heading towards that. And of course, this is part of that. And interesting is the 3 cards fell out when I was talking about that. And I was also mentioning this morning, I shared let's see. Thought it was very interesting from another Telegram channel, and this has to do with the hearing, a UAP hearing. So that has to do with the UFO that was last week, and it's kind of swept under the rug while there was very, very interesting information there about aliens and things happening. And in that message, this person also shared that most likely, of course, the dark energies wanted to create a certain alien move with Project Blue Beam, but that has been halted by the Whiteheads. But there's going to be something played out to further along expose things. So the Whiteheads most likely are going to use that. After this false flag, galactic benevolent beings will start showing themselves publicly more and more. This is actually already happening for over a decade now, but only to high conscience and high vibrational open heart human beings. So this is very interesting. So I have a feeling, I was talking about that as well, that there probably is going to something happening with the aliens to open up that, and most likely will seem like the Third World War is going to start. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Whiteheads will pick it up after that, but the military will be put into place. And the cards I've got that fell out had a yes, so the Ace of Pentacles. So to me, something along that lines is going to happen. People and influencers that still think they're going to get away, the puppets are not going to get away with it, but we'll just have to wait and see. We don't know how it's going to go, how it will work out. Just be prepared. We've been talking about this in this community for a long time. Just be prepared if things happen. We don't know how things are going to be affected. So have some food, water for your pets, maybe some medication if it's necessary for you, but just make sure that you are all right. We'll have to wait and see. Don't wait for it either. Just live your life. That's very important. Just live your life. Maybe it will go smoother in certain areas, maybe not. We just don't know how things are going to unfold now. But I do believe it's all part of the chess game. It's all part of the Great Awakening. And so that's what I wanted to talk about the USA, and of course with the missiles in the Ukraine. The last thing I wanted to take a look at was more, in the Dutch video about a storm heading towards the Netherlands. I do believe there was going to be chaos from that. It's probably tomorrow is going to head towards the Netherlands, but I don't believe flooding and everything will be underwater. And a lot of people were, asking me about that. There was a lot of fear going on that maybe things are happening. Of course, with the Netherlands, there are like holes in the dikes. I've mentioned this as well in a video, I think last week. And that they've been doing that for quite some time. So dams have been removed, not just here in the Netherlands, but also, of course, in Spain, where there's a lot of things going on now with the weather. And a lot of people are seeing this as part of creating flooding and things like that. To be very honest, I get the feeling that it's also part of the flooding from Mother Earth changing, her vibration is changing. And so the energy is changing, and things are happening there as well with the weather, because there's so much manipulation has been going on, so much energy has been put into that. So that I do believe that Mother Nature, is trying to balance it. No, you want to call her Mother Nature, it's the easiest way to explain, but it's a consciousness, and the consciousness is trying to rebalance itself. So we are going to see certain things happening as well. And like I mentioned in that video, the consciousness, sees life and death as one in essence. So we like to look at it in human perspective, but this is at a much broader perspective. And the balance, needs to be restored. So a lot of things happening. I believe it's very important to not be too fearful, not to, fall for all these fear mongering, because really it's lowering your energy. Trust that you're protected, trust that you're safe. Of course, if things are happening and people are in awful situations around the world, and my heart goes out to those people. And like I've mentioned before, you never could get into a situation unless, of course, it's also in your soul contract. I'm not talking here about guilt or anything like that, but it could be, comforting that, if you do get in a certain situation, there is, some lessons alongside with that. And you can always get out of it, especially, we are very powerful spiritual beings. We are children of God, part of that. We are very powerful, and we need to understand that we can create with our minds, with our thoughts. We can really protect and create other realities. And I think we need to really focus on that now. Don't be afraid. If you do feel fear, just feel it, embrace it, because it just means that there are things you can heal inside of yourself. Even if you face all kinds of things, know that you are essentially, you cannot die. You are a soul. You are bigger than that. I fully understand when you're in the human experience that it may seem completely different. But we need to realize that we are so much stronger. And I just wanted to leave it at this. I hope to see you in another video. Bye.